Hey guys!
Guys.
So being with each other, we are constantly saying things offhandedly that end up really surprising the other person about our culture. And one of the things that really surprised me was when we somehow got on the topic of how anime characters are named. Most of us already know a lot of the really famous characters like Naruto. His name is actually a type of Japanese food. You put it in ramen.
Yeah.
Gohan from Dragonball Z, that means rice. Goku is actually Son Goku. He's named after a monkey king from a classical Chinese novel. But if you're like me, you probably didn't know just how clever and carefully designed a lot of these names really are.
Many manga or anime characters' names are not real Japanese names at all. Some of them are just metaphors names, and some of them are just author's favorite names. And in some manga, like Death Note for example, the author purposely avoids using the real names, especially for criminals, because he doesn't want to inconvenience anyone who might have those same names in real life.
Even more than that, because Japanese is such a complex language when you get into kanji, a lot of anime characters' names are actually plays on words or puns, or the kanji can have meanings that describe the character themselves.
Yeah, it's so obvious to us because we grew up with this language, so we can't tell like, this is obviously a real Japanese name, or this one sounds like an anime name, or this one actually sounds like a sentence. For example, using a Japanese particle no in a name.
So for those of you who don't know any Japanese, this particle no can be added onto the word before it to indicate possession. So essentially in this case, it becomes an apostrophe S in English. So in Sailor Moon, her name is Usagi, and most of us already know that that means rabbit. And then her family name is Tsukino. And most of us can look at Tsukino and see that the word moon or tsuki is a part of that name. But when you read her name in the Japanese way, which is family name first, you get Tsukino Usagi, which actually sounds like Tsuki no Usagi, which would be the moon's rabbit, or more clearly translated into English, rabbit of the moon. In English, we have a saying that there's a man in the moon, man in the moon. Man in the moon. Because that's what we see when we look at the moon. But in Japan, they don't see a man in the moon. They see a rabbit.
Or crabs.
Or crabs?
Yeah, crabs.
So Sailor Moon's name is actually really clever because it's using a real Japanese family name to play on words and invoke the image of Japanese folklore. And there's another really good example of this as well, and that would be Sakura Haruno from Naruto. In Japanese, her name is Haruno Sakura, and a lot of us probably know what these Japanese words are. Haru is spring, and Sakura means cherry blossoms. So her name is actually literally a Japanese sentence when you read it like this. It becomes spring's cherry blossoms, or more clearly translated, cherry blossoms in the spring.
It's very obvious to me, so it was very fun to see Richard getting surprised by all these names.
Well, it's really difficult for us to tell in English, especially when the character names are transliterated into the English alphabet.
Oh yeah. So for example, the criminals from Death Note. So, Kiichiro Osoreda. So when you look at his name, it's spelled like this, Kiichiro. And this kanji, Ki, this means strange or rare, and it's literally rare and strange to have this kanji. It's normally this kanji for Ki, Kiichiro, and this means joy or happy. So it's almost impossible for anyone in Japan to have the same name as them.
It might sound exactly the same when you say it out loud, but of course kanji is just as important in a name as the way it sounds.
Yeah, Kiichiro.
So here are some other minor characters from Death Note. Mainichi asaji, which literally means every day next morning. Nusumi onegoro. Nusumi literally translated is sneak a look. It could be something like a peeping Tom, and this is a character that was killed because he raped a woman. And this is a really minor character, but he's probably one of my favorite characters now that I know what his name is. His name is Kaneboshi Ginzo, and you'll actually learn these two kanji really on when you're studying Japanese. The first one, in this case, means kane, or money, and then boshi, or hoshi, means I want, so his name is literally I want money. And then his first name, Ginzo, means I create silver. And this is a character who was killed because he was a loan shark who committed violent acts to retrieve the money that he loaned out to people. What about Bleach?
Ichigo. I don't know what kind of meanings the author gave to his name, but Ichigo, Ichi means first, and Go means protect. So it's, I don't know, like his first priority is like protect something, or he's the #1 protector of Shinigami realm or something. I don't know.
I thought because his name was Ichigo, it meant strawberry.
You thought what? Strawberry?
I'm absolutely positive there is a ton of fan art out there with Ichigo with strawberries or Ichigo as a strawberry, because I'm betting pretty much everyone else makes the same mistake.
Well, there's actually a manga called Ichigo 100% from Shonen Jump a little while ago.
So this is a love harem comedy manga where the main character's name is Manaka, and that literally means the center. And the girls that he is in a love square with, the first kanji of their family names are the cardinal directions on a compass.
Kitaoji from the north, and Tojo from the east, and Minamido from the south, and Nishino from the west.
What other Jump manga have you read?
I don't really read Jump, but I watched Yu-Gi-Oh when I was a kid.
Me too.
And you did?
Yeah.
So this is the kanji, how you write Yu-Gi-Oh, and Yugi means a game or play, to play, and O means a king, so the king of the game.
I didn't even know Yu-Gi-Oh had kanji to it.
Really?
I just thought it was like a weird, kind of dumb name. I mean, in the English version, it's written with these hyphens. It doesn't even look like a Japanese name at all.
Yeah.
I watched the first season of Attack on Titan, and Mikasa, the really cool, super strong woman.
Mikasa.
Mikasa is actually the name of a Japanese battleship that was the flagship for Admiral Togo during the Battle of Tsushima.
Yeah, Mikasa.
And if you're interested in Japanese history, I actually made a video about it.
Yeah. Oh, speaking of battleships, actually, the many characters from Evangelion are named after Japanese ships, and the main character and his father's family name is Ikari, which means anchor.
So they're like anchoring everyone together.
Yeah, kind of.
That's really cool. So you have Ayanami Rei, and Ayanami is the name of a destroyer. Soryu Asuka Langley. She's actually named after 3 separate ships.
Yeah.
Soryu is the name of an aircraft carrier.
Soryu.
Asuka is the name of a torpedo gunboat. And Langley is the USS Langley. Akagi Ritsuko is Akagi is the name of an aircraft carrier. And Katsuragi Misato. Katsuragi is also the name of an aircraft carrier.
Yeah, and there's also Fuyutsuki and another, just minor characters.
Right. And of course there are a ton of anime and manga characters who have names that aren't even anywhere close to real names in real life, although oftentimes their names still do have meanings or they're puns or something like that. So for example, you have like One Piece, so Luffy, Usopp, and Zoro. Then like for Dragonball Z you have like Bulma, Krillin, Vegeta.
But recently some parents named their children after manga or anime characters.
Right, and those are called Kira Kira names, and we're actually going to make a video about that in the future.
Yeah.
So, I hope you guys found this interesting and you learned some new stuff like I did. We actually have a couple anime that we really like where a lot of characters have really interesting names, so we're going to make full videos just for those anime. And if you guys have your favorite characters and you want to know what the meanings of their names are, then please ask us down in the comments. And I apologize in advance if they're not interesting. But if there's enough of them, then we'll make a full video on those too to answer all of your questions.
Yeah. Thanks for watching.
Bye!